Welcome, brave souls, to a journey like no other. A journey into the heart of America's fiercest battles with nature's wrath. We thank you for stepping into this storm with us, for dedicating your time and your attention to witness moments that could change everything. Here on Best of Moment, we don't just share videos, we capture the pulse of the planet, the raw power that shakes the very ground beneath our feet. This is your front row seat to the most intense, jaw-dropping, life-altering events unfolding across the United States. Hurricanes that churn like monstrous beasts, tornadoes slicing through the sky with unmatched fury, wildfires engulfing acres in flames, earthquakes that rumble beneath cities, and floods that drown entire communities. You're not just watching, you're living it. Feel the tension in the air, the crackle of electricity before the storm strikes. Hear the sirens screaming warnings, the frantic footsteps of families fleeing. Watch as nature unleashes its most violent symphony, devastating, unpredictable, merciless. But why are we here? Because these stories matter. Because understanding the chaos, the courage, and the aftermath is how we prepare, survive, and rebuild. This isn't just news. It's a cinematic epic unfolding in real time. So buckle up, hold on tight. The storm is coming, and you won't want to miss a second of it. The magnitude of America's natural fury. Imagine a force so powerful, it reshapes landscapes overnight. A force so sudden it leaves entire towns in ruins. That is the reality faced by millions of Americans every year. From the East Coast's relentless hurricanes that churn the Atlantic into a deadly tempest, to the Midwest's infamous Tornado Alley, where twisters twist the sky into chaos, nature in the U.S. doesn't hold back. Wildfires rage across California's sun-scorched hills with an unstoppable hunger, turning forests into ash and skies into fiery red canvases. Earthquakes in California and Alaska remind us that the ground beneath our feet can betray us without warning. And floods? When rivers burst their banks, they swallow homes and hopes alike. Each disaster tells a story of destruction, but also resilience, of communities pulled apart, and then stitched back together with grit and grace. Why you can't look away? What makes these stories so captivating? It's the raw, unfiltered power of nature, combined with the indomitable human spirit. This isn't just about meteorology or geology. This is about people's lives hanging in the balance. It's about split-second decisions, heroic rescues, and heartbreaking losses. Every frame you watch is charged with emotion. Fear, hope, despair, courage. We bring you eyewitness accounts that will make your heart race, expert insights that unravel the science behind the chaos, and footage so cinematic you'll feel like you're in the eye of the storm. This is the kind of content that commands your attention, because it affects us all. We all live on this planet, and sometimes it reminds us just how fragile we truly are. What to expect in this series? In the episodes ahead, prepare for a deep dive into hurricanes. Witness the birth of massive storms in the Atlantic. Follow their terrifying journey as they slam into the U.S. coastlines, and hear from survivors who face the unimaginable. Tornadoes enter Tornado Alley, where nature's most violent twisters carve destructive paths and test human endurance. Wildfires. Explore the infernos consuming the West, see how firefighters battle flames, and discover how climate change is fueling these disasters. Earthquakes. Understand the shifting tectonic plates beneath our feet and what scientists are doing to predict and mitigate the next big quake. Floods. From coastal surges to river overflows, see how water can transform familiar landscapes into perilous zones. Each episode is crafted to keep you on the edge of your seat, combining cutting-edge footage, compelling narratives, and the kind of cinematic storytelling you'd expect from a blockbuster. Join the movement. This isn't just a video series, it's a call to action. As you watch, think about your own community. How prepared are you? What can you learn from those who have faced these disasters head-on? And most importantly, join the conversation. Share your stories, ask your questions, and connect with others who want to understand, respond, and make a difference. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell now, because the next chapter of this thrilling saga is just moments away. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. Together we face the storm, stronger, wiser, and more united than ever. Storm chasers and truth seekers. If you thought you'd seen power, wait until you meet the hurricane, the beast that terrorizes the American coastline with relentless, unstoppable force. Here in the United States, hurricanes are not just weather events. They are colossal battles between man and nature, and every season writes a new chapter of devastation, survival, and hope. Birth of the monster. It all begins far out at sea, where warm waters fuel the invisible engine of destruction. Like a mythical creature awakening from the depths, a swirl of clouds spins faster and faster, fueled by energy harvested from the ocean's heat. This swirling vortex, often miles wide, is nature's ultimate expression of raw power, a living, breathing storm that can grow to the size of entire states. As it gathers strength, the hurricane barrels toward land, carrying with it savage winds exceeding 150 miles per hour, rain so heavy it blinds the eye, and a storm surge. A wall of ocean water that crashes ashore, flooding everything in its path. This is no ordinary storm. It is a force that can level cities, uproot entire forests, and rewrite coastlines in a matter of hours. The human toll. Stories from the eye of the storm. Behind the headlines and the flashing sirens are millions of stories, tales of courage, loss, and survival. Picture this: a family huddled in their basement as the walls shake. The power flickers out, and the hurricane's howling screams surround them. They clutch each other, hearts pounding in the darkness, praying the house will hold. Or imagine first responders racing through flooded streets, navigating debris, and pulling strangers from the jaws of certain death. Lives saved in the nick of time. And then there are those who lost everything. Homes, memories, loved ones, swept away by the storm's brutal hand. Their stories of heartbreak are interwoven with incredible resilience as communities band together to rebuild stronger, united by shared hardship. The science behind the fury. What makes hurricanes so terrifyingly unpredictable? The answer lies in the complex dance between ocean temperatures, atmospheric pressure, and wind patterns. Scientists track these storms with state-of-the-art satellites and radar, watching every twist and turn in real time. Yet despite all the technology, forecasting remains a high-stakes game, a race against time to warn millions before the storm strikes. Climate change has only made things worse. Warmer oceans feed bigger storms, longer hurricane seasons push the boundaries of normalcy, and rising sea levels amplify flooding risks. The hurricane of today is a far more dangerous beast than the one our grandparents faced. Cinematic moments you can't miss. We've scoured the archives and collected some of the most breathtaking, terrifying footage ever captured. The swirling eye of Hurricane Katrina as it approached New Orleans. A moment frozen in time, symbolizing both nature's power and human vulnerability. The unstoppable surge of water flooding Manhattan during Hurricane Sandy, transforming the bustling metropolis into a submerged ghost town. The relentless winds tearing through Florida's coastline in Hurricane Michael, snapping trees like toothpicks and flattening entire neighborhoods. Each clip is a pulse-pounding reminder that hurricanes are not just news stories. They're cinematic epics unfolding before our very eyes. What can we learn? Hurricanes teach us more than fear. They teach preparation, respect, and resilience. Emergency protocols, evacuation plans, and community shelters save countless lives every season. Innovations in building design, early warning systems, and disaster relief efforts continue to improve how we respond. But the biggest lesson is one of unity. When the storm passes, it's the strength of human connection that rebuilds shattered communities. Neighbors helping neighbors, strangers becoming heroes, and a nation standing strong together. Are you ready? As you watch this series, ask yourself, how prepared am I? What would I do if the wind started to howl and the skies opened up? Stay tuned because the story doesn't end here. Coming up next, we dive into the eye of another American terror, the tornado. The violent twisters ripping through the heartland, spinning destruction with terrifying speed. But for now, take a deep breath. Feel the magnitude of what we've uncovered. And remember, hurricanes are not just storms. They're the roaring voice of nature reminding us who's truly in charge. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of the storm. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a moment of this breathtaking saga. The fury of America's natural disasters is a story that needs to be told, and you're a vital part of it. The sky darkens. The wind screams a warning. A violent vortex tears through the air like a raging beast unleashed. Tornadoes, nature's most unpredictable and terrifying spectacle. Fearless watchers. If you thought hurricanes were powerful, prepare to face the fury of the tornado. A spinning, twisting force that can level entire towns in minutes, tearing through the heart of America's tornado alley with a speed and violence that defies belief. The birth of a twister deep within massive thunderstorm clouds, where lightning flashes like the sky's own heartbeat, tornadoes are born. A perfect storm of warm, moist air colliding with cold, dry air creates a volatile environment. The spinning columns of air begin to stretch downward from the cloud base to the ground, like colossal fingers of destruction reaching out. What starts as a whisper soon becomes a roar. These funnel clouds spin at speeds exceeding 300 miles per hour, faster than any hurricane wind, carving a narrow path of utter devastation. Tornado Alley, the heart of the storm. No place on Earth experiences tornadoes quite like the central United States. Known as Tornado Alley, this vast stretch of plains and prairies from Texas to Nebraska is a battleground where twisters strike with frightening regularity. During peak season, the skies here can change in minutes. Blue skies give way to ominous clouds, sirens wail, and the world braces for impact. Communities here live in constant vigilance, their lives punctuated by the terrifying question, when will the next tornado strike? The path of destruction. A tornado's path is both sudden and merciless. In seconds, it can uproot massive trees, tear roofs off homes, toss cars like toys, and rip through schools, businesses, and farms. Imagine standing just miles away, watching a dark, swirling column descend from the sky, its howling winds sucking up debris and hurling it through the air. The sound alone is enough to freeze blood, a fierce, unrelenting howl that shakes the ground. Families sprint for safety, clutching loved ones, hoping their shelters hold against the storm's rage. Emergency crews prepare for the aftermath, a chaotic scene of wreckage, loss, and desperate rescue efforts. Real stories of survival and loss. Behind every tornado is a human story. Moments of terror and incredible bravery. Listen to the voice of a mother who, moments before the tornado hit, managed to get her children into the storm cellar. Her heart pounding, she could hear the world outside being torn apart, but inside hope held strong. Or hear from a first responder who navigated the rubble-filled streets to pull victims to safety, risking his own life to save others. And then there are the heartbreaking tales. Families who lost everything, communities that must rebuild from the ashes, and the silent strength that rises from tragedy. Tornado science, understanding the beast. Why do tornadoes form? What makes some so deadly while others pass with little harm? Scientists study the atmosphere's complex dynamics, wind shear, humidity, temperature gradients, to understand and predict tornado formation. Doppler radar and storm spotters play crucial roles in providing early warnings. Yet despite advances, tornadoes remain capricious, and predicting their exact path is still a challenge. Their unpredictable nature adds to the terror, making every warning precious and every second critical. Cinematic footage that captures the madness. The footage we've collected will pull you into the heart of the storm. The infamous Joplin tornado of 2011, a mile-wide beast that devastated the city and left an unforgettable scar. Chasing tornadoes across Kansas plains, a thrilling mix of beauty and terror as the funnel cloud spins against golden fields. The eerie calm moments before a twister's arrival. A suspense-filled silence, broken only by the sudden roar. These videos are more than images. They are visceral experiences that place you in the eye of nature's deadliest whirlwind. The aftermath, rebuilding lives and communities. Tornadoes leave destruction in their wake. Shattered homes, uprooted lives, and broken hearts. But amid the wreckage, something extraordinary happens. Communities come together, strangers become heroes, and hope sparks anew. From rebuilding houses to restoring schools and businesses, the road to recovery is long and hard, but it's paved with resilience, determination, and an unbreakable spirit. What can you do? If you live in tornado-prone areas, preparation is key. Know your evacuation routes. Have a safe room or storm shelter. Keep emergency kits ready. And when the sirens sound, don't hesitate. Take shelter immediately. Up next, firestorms in the West. The fury of tornadoes is staggering, but the battle with raging wildfires is a different kind of nightmare. Next, we venture westward to the fire-scorched hills of California, where flames consume everything in their path. The air thickens with smoke. Flames lick the horizon like a ravenous beast. The ground burns beneath your feet. Wildfires rage. A blazing apocalypse fueled by drought, wind, and relentless heat. If you thought hurricanes and tornadoes were fierce, brace yourself for the fiery fury sweeping across the American West. Wildfires that consume everything in their path with unrelenting ferocity, turning serene forests into scenes of smoldering devastation. The fiery birth of a wildfire. Wildfires ignite with a spark, a lightning strike, a careless cigarette, or even a malfunctioning power line. But what transforms a simple flame into a raging inferno? is the perfect storm of conditions: parched forests, blistering heat, and powerful winds. Once started, these fires can race across landscapes at speeds up to 20 miles per hour, jumping from tree to tree, house to house, fueled by dry brush and drought-stricken soil. The smoke darkens skies hundreds of miles away, creating eerie sunsets and choking cities with hazardous air. The blazing battlegrounds, California and beyond. California is the epicenter of wildfire destruction in the United States. Each year, millions of acres of forest and farmland go up in smoke. But it's not just California. Oregon, Washington, Colorado, and even parts of the Southeast have seen the wrath of these fiery tempests. In recent years, the intensity and frequency of wildfires have surged, driven by climate change's deadly cocktail: hotter temperatures, longer droughts, and unpredictable weather patterns. The human cost: lives up in flames. Behind every wildfire is a story of displacement, heartbreak, and survival. Imagine families forced to flee at a moment's notice, gathering what little they can carry before being swallowed by a wall of flames and smoke. Homes turn to ash, memories lost in an instant. Firefighters risk everything, battling blazes that can engulf thousands of acres with flames reaching 100 feet high. Their courage is legendary, holding back the inferno, saving communities and racing against time and nature's fury. The science of fire, understanding wildfires, is a battle of its own. Scientists monitor weather patterns, soil moisture, and vegetation health to predict fire risks. Satellites scan the earth for new outbreaks, while fire behavior experts analyze wind and terrain to map fire spread. But wildfires are notoriously unpredictable, shifting direction with the wind and exploding with sudden intensity. The challenge is not just fighting flames, it's outsmarting a force that thrives on chaos. Cinematic footage that will leave you breathless. Prepare for heart-stopping, awe-inspiring scenes. The 2018 Camp Fire in California, the deadliest and most destructive wildfire in state history, engulfing the town of Paradise in hours. Firefighters battling flames on the steep mountain slopes, battling not just fire, but extreme heat and toxic smoke. Evacuations at night, families fleeing through smoky, darkened roads, emergency vehicles flashing red and blue lights. These moments aren't just footage. They are a visceral immersion into one of nature's most terrifying events. Lessons from the flames wildfires remind us of our planet's fragility and the urgent need for action. Better forest management, smarter urban planning, and climate action are critical. Communities are learning to build fire-resistant homes, create defensible spaces, and prepare for evacuation. The stories of loss are heartbreaking, but the stories of rebuilding, resilience, and hope shine bright amidst the ashes. The earth trembles beneath your feet. A low rumble grows into a deafening roar. Buildings sway, glass shatters, and the world seems to tear apart. The unstoppable force of an earthquake. Welcome back, courageous viewers, to the final chapter of our journey through America's most devastating natural disasters. After facing the relentless winds of hurricanes, the violent whirlwinds of tornadoes, and the fiery infernos of wildfires, we now confront one of nature's most sudden and unpredictable forces: earthquakes. The silent threat beneath our feet. Unlike hurricanes or wildfires, earthquakes strike without warning. Deep beneath the surface, colossal tectonic plates shift, grind, and sometimes rupture along fault lines, releasing pent-up energy and seismic waves that shake the earth. The United States sits on several major fault lines, with California's San Andreas Fault among the most infamous. But Alaska, Nevada, and even parts of the Midwest aren't immune. The quake's magnitude determines the scale of destruction, from minor tremors that rattle windows to catastrophic events that level cities. Stories of ruin and resilience. Every earthquake tells a story etched in rubble and survival. Picture the chaos as the ground violently shakes, roads crack open, bridges collapse, power lines topple, and buildings crumble. People scramble for safety, some trapped under debris, others running through dust-filled streets. Yet amid destruction, stories of heroism emerge. Rescue teams dig tirelessly through wreckage. Communities rally to support survivors, providing shelter, food, and hope. The 1994 Northridge earthquake and the 1906 San Francisco quake remain haunting reminders of nature's force and humanity's resilience. Science and technology predicting the unpredictable. Scientists tirelessly study seismic activity using seismographs, GPS monitoring, and fault mapping to understand earthquake patterns. While precise prediction remains elusive, early warning systems have been developed to provide seconds, sometimes minutes, of crucial alert before shaking starts, giving people time to take cover. Engineering advances have transformed building codes to withstand tremors, aiming to reduce damage and save lives. Cinematic footage that shakes your soul. Experience the terrifying power through jaw-dropping footage. Buildings swaying dramatically during the 2011 Virginia earthquake. Highway overpasses collapsing in slow motion. Aftershock sequences rattling nerves long after the main quake. Rescue efforts unfolding in devastated neighborhoods. Each scene plunges you into the epicenter of destruction and the spirit of recovery. The aftershock, healing and rebuilding. Earthquakes leave scars that last long after the ground stops shaking. Rebuilding is a monumental task, restoring infrastructure, homes, and communities. But it's also a testament to human spirit, innovation, and determination. Lessons learned from each quake guide preparation for the next. Building smarter, planning better, and educating the public on how to stay safe. Your role in earthquake. Preparedness. Know the risks in your area. Create an emergency plan. Secure heavy furniture and items that could fall. When the earth starts shaking, drop, cover, and hold on. The final word. From storms that rage above to tremors that shake below, America's natural disasters test us in unimaginable ways. Thank you for joining us on this epic journey through the forces that shape our nation and the courage that defines its people. Don't forget to subscribe and stay with us for more stories that matter, moments that move, and truths that inspire. Stay safe, stay prepared, and until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and keep sharing. Cinematic series finale and call to action. The screen fades to black. A single heartbeat pulses in the silence. Then the words appear. Nature is unstoppable. So are we. You've witnessed the unstoppable force of hurricanes that churn oceans into raging beasts. You've faced the terrifying twisters that rip through America's heartland with blinding speed. You've felt the searing heat of wildfires that consume forests and towns alike. And you've stood at the epicenter of earthquakes that shake the very foundations of our world. This is not just a series of disasters. This is a saga of survival, resilience, and hope. A story of how communities rise from ashes, how heroes are forged in the fury, and how the human spirit shines brightest in the darkest storms. Now it's your turn to act. Prepare yourself. Protect your loved ones. Learn from the past to safeguard the future. Subscribe to Best of Moment and be part of a community that doesn't just watch the world, but understands it. Together we share stories that move us, truths that inspire us, and moments that change us. Join the conversation. Share your story. Become a beacon of hope in the face of nature's might. Because when nature roars, we rise. Hit subscribe. Ring the bell. Stay ready. Stay strong. Best of Moment, where every moment matters. Thank you for watching. Let's keep the conversation going. Hello, everyone. We're incredibly grateful that you stayed with us until the very end of this video. Your time and attention mean everything to us here at Best of Moment. Thank you for choosing to share a part of your day with us. If this video resonated with you or brought you any inspiration, please consider subscribing to our channel, Best of Moment. Hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on the meaningful, emotional, and thought-provoking stories we're excited to share. We're committed to bringing you moments that move the heart and spark reflection, and we'd love for you to be part of this journey. Now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on today's topic? Have you had a similar experience or perhaps a different perspective? Drop your comments below. Your voice matters deeply to us. This channel isn't just about videos. It's about creating a vibrant community where we can all connect, learn, and grow together. Feel free to jump into the conversation, ask questions, share your insights, or even engage in friendly debates. We read every single comment and truly look forward to connecting with each of you. Thank you once again for your support and for being here with us. Stay tuned for more unforgettable moments right here on Best of Moment. Take care and see you in the next video.